Hello, it is Gerald. I want to show you a simulation of earrings. This is a small tutorial showing how to try to find the right parameters for this kind of simulation. I start VWD. I import Genesis 3 as collision object, but I will use a very small distance for the collision to create a very realistic simulation. When the chain will enter in contact with the collision object, with Victoria Genesis 3. I import the collision object. Okay, the simulation has been recorded. I import now the earring as a close object. I don't know how to make a good stiffening for the earrings. So the best way is to use a very stiff enough settings for the global close mesh, but I will not generate any extended simulation stiffening for the close, for the earrings. I import the earring as collision object. Okay, I make a zone. In this simulation, there are several elements with very different sizes. It will be necessary to adjust these extended stiffenings to these elements. So I will open the force on springs, and I will use parameters I tested before. This tutorial is not to explain how I made this selection, these choices, but it is to understand how it is possible to apply different stiffenings to a close or to an element you want to simulate. I will select the elements separately. I want to select one ring, big ring, and I select the element, full element, and I want to make a stiffening to this part. If I use a too high value, the result is not good because too many nodes will be selected, and the stiffening will to create a very too stiff simulation. For this part, I will use 0.3, which generate springs between all these vertices. I want to include in future version a stiffening for a single element without selecting other parts that vertices currently selected. This make a rigidification of this part very correct. It seems very good. So I will use this these parameters for these settings for the big rings. For the middle ring, or this one, I click with the middle button on the part of the cloth. I select one vertices with the Shift key. I select element, and now I want to adjust, to reduce the value for the stiffening. I put it at 0.2. This will generate a stiffening between all these parts, and this seems correct too. Now I will use, I find the value for the little rings, and I create an element. I will use a small value like this one. We can see all these elements will be linked together, and this will generate a good simulation, because not too much vertices will be selected. So now I have to make the real stiffening. I will use the curves, and I will apply a value defined in the research we made just before. So I will use a value equal to 0.3 for this, with a higher stiffness. Okay, now I will use the G-rings, and I will apply the other value with the same stiffening for the springs. Okay, now I will select the chain, and I will apply this fluidification, stiffening. Okay, all is perfect, but the chain is, the rings, earrings are now correctly stiffened, but we have to do other things. We have to link the earrings to the body of the character. So we will select the curves, and we will apply a nail to collision to this part. Okay. There is another thing which is very important. The character will repel the vertices outside of the body. So we don't have to have this repelling, because the result will not be realistic. We have two solutions for that. We can select some vertices on the body of the character and use the no collide for current collision, or we can select vertices on the clothes and press on the no collide for current clothes. I will use this method. I will select the curves, and I will apply a no collide for current clothes. Okay, now all is good. All is fine. We can use open the simulate tab, and we can use default settings for the simulation. we can use the graphic card with the GPU, and we can start the simulation. We can see the simulation begin to work. We can also see the result is correct for the stiffening. All the rings are not deformed by the simulation. It is correct. And now we just have to wait for the calculation. It is not very interesting to keep the recording during this part. I will stop the recording and I will restart it just before the end of the simulation. Hello, I come back just before the end of the simulation. We will wait to see the simulation. The result of the simulation. Okay. Simulation seems correct. You can see there is some collision with here, and there are some small deformation of the ring, but they come back very quickly to their original shape when all the collisions are finished. Okay. I can look again at the simulation with another position. Okay. Now we can transfer the simulation to Data Studio, so we can use the same animation to host. The transfer is made here, and it is fast enough. The transfer is made currently by text files. It is not perfect, but I want to improve this part of the program. Now we can play the simulation in the studio by importing the .dsa file. We can play the simulation, play the script, and we can go to the viewport, and we can play the simulation in the studio. So you can then make a rendering to show the final result. Okay, I hope this tutorial will be useful to you. Thank you. Bye.